Money back. Money back. Money back. Make it like a money back. Yeah. Money back. God, I do the Maybach on Monday, Ferrari Friday. This is sweet Saturday. That's just what I say. I said, babe, it's. He said it's a. Them pretty. You look like Beyonce. Looking like.
All right, Coach, first opened back in 2017. There's a look at the gleaming new Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. Coming up, it's the final game of Wild Card Weekend, and we've got a good NFC matchup in store between the Carolina Panthers and the Atlanta Falcons. Winner go home is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC wildcard game. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon, and he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Looking to throw. Morales dumps it off to Mixon. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Next, the receivers help spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
Well, to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. After the penalty, it's Mixon. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Set. 319. 319.
To throw on 3rd down. Morales. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. They go play action here on 1st down. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
They're going to look to throw. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And all the way down to the 40-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 52 yards.
So what's the old expression that quarterbacks like to use when they decide to throw the football? I'm looking for either a touchdown or a check down. And he took the check down on that play, and it worked almost to perfection.
So a slight improvement in field position, you might say, from inside their own 10 to this as they come up on first down. They'll look to throw now on first down. He's going to air one out. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And that's incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
Gone!
Back to throw. He finds Beckham complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A nice gain of 21 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit!
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And oh, not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks for those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kaiser White. And the return will stop right around the 25.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Tackle made by Devondre Campbell.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, as some of these shorter games turn into bigger runs later.
And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down.
Well, we use the term pitch and catch a lot to denote an easy completion. We just saw one right there on 3rd and 3 to pick up the first down.
Why are those so tough to defend? Just because they hit so quickly?
Yeah, it's all about timing and confidence. Quarterback sees it, rips it, there you go.
The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. Touchdown, Carolina. A great play there. 61 yards. And the Panthers are going to take a first quarter lead. Gano the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Gano out to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and of course they'd like to forget the ending, the interception, but they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
This is taken at the 18. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Carolina getting set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
To throw on 2nd down, Morales. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a first down, too. With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That's Samuel, caught left side. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That one goes for 24 yards.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Mixon with a first down carry. Down to the 25. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
Off play action. Morales. Out left, he's got it to Everett. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They'll give it to Mixon. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
On 2nd and goal, one man stands in the backfield, and that's Mixon.
Here we go!
They get it to him running left. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you're 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
Here's Mixon. And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Panthers are able to grow their lead. Extra point try good by Gano. And it's now 14-0. Gano out to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Looking deep downfield. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Here's J.K. Scott now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And taken right on the 30. A good return there, 17 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And onto the field, here come the Panthers. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
And now they're just looking to add to that total. On second down, here's Mixon. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. 8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
The Panthers on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. First down here at about the 40. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Well, partner, if we had their entire playbook in front of us, I'm not sure we would have picked out that play as the one to run in that situation. How about the guts of the offensive coordinator? Dialing that one up into great success.
Throw right side is into the hands of his tight end, Everett. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A good pick up there of 20 yards. Two minutes remain here in the first half. Back with more NFC playoff action after this.
Lucky 56.
Throwing on first down. Morales. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They go back to the ground now with Mixon. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Nazaire Jones there on the tackle.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. On 3rd down, Mixon. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. And the Falcons going to use another timeout, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. And Gano's kick is right through. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
And finding the tight end, Hooper. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely great start. Two nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43, 30, 20, 10, 5, and he will score. Touchdown, Panthers.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick six. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with a running back. And now look at him go. The 30, 10, and he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
Well, certainly they haven't had the ideal first half, but there's some momentum for them to take into halftime.
Yeah, and it might not be that wild momentum, you know, that you see sometimes where they score late and teams go sprinting off and the whole deal. No, it might not be that, but it does give them a better feeling about themselves and what they can accomplish in the second half.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And here now come the Falcons. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
Lucky 56.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Out of the gun now on third down. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. His second catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down.
At first glance, I thought he just used his size in order to win the route, but he also had a little subtle move in there as well. Made the defender think he was going one direction, and was able to track the ball in another.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Going for the deep ball. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
After the incomplete pass, here now is second and 10.
Detroit!
He'll look to throw. It's caught over the middle. Hooper. Yeah, he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And this is caught at the 8. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll look to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1 yard line. A gain of 7 that time. Second and goal.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
That'll go as a loss of 5. And that'll make it third and goal. They'll set up a throw. Flush to his right. And that is incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
So out now comes the field goal unit for the Falcons. This is an easy one, 23-yarder. And his kick here is good. And that will close the gap down to 14. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because What you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Back to throw. Morales. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
Gone! Hurry up, here we go. Blue landing.
Now they'll run it on the toss. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Stephon Tuitt in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Detroit!
They'll drop to throw. He's going to look deep down the field. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Carl Joseph. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
Mixon gets the nod to start the drive. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage.
Detroit!
Once again, they run with Mixon. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves them needing about 7 here on 3rd down.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. On 3rd down, Morales. And he's got his target. That's more. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a first down, too. On 1st and 10, Morales. Open man is Samuel, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Back now in Atlanta. It's the Panthers out in front and in control of the football as well as we begin quarter number 4. A handoff to Mixon. And he Makes his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up second down. Again, it's Mixon. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Vic Beasley able to make the tackle.
But it was stopped on that play. He's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
To throw on third down. Morales. They'll find Everett there, complete. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. This quarterback now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's first and 10. Here's a give to Mixon. Able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Off the play fake. Morales to Mixon on the check down. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to lead to a third down. Well, this is how you shape the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when. He told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And that will extend their lead even further. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any.
And that's caught inside the 30. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
They'll set up to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. Back to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And got his man complete. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 46 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. On play action, they'll throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. He'll look to throw. And it's complete. Hooper. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Panthers have recovered.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. They begin with a run by Mixon, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Off play action. Morales. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Back to Mixon on 1st down. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Tackle made by the 2nd-round pick, Isaiah Oliver.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And they'll go on the ground. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave them with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Panthers on 3rd down. They've been really good, converting 7 of their 10 tries. This is 3rd and 4. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And he'll go ahead and field this at the 5. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once we were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares?
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Dante Jackson picks it, and his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. Good starting position for the Panthers as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
They said beginning of the season they wanted to get past the wild card round.